I'm secretly in love with my friend, but I mistakenly set him up with my other friend.
You should set him up with your alter ego.
Ooh,
or maybe another personality.
Ooh, time to set it down. I, 24 female, have a friend, 22 male, who I've known since high school. We'll call him Jordan. When we met, we quickly became friends, talking during free periods and playing iMessage games almost daily. I was in 10th grade and he was in 9th. By the way, this comes from Smooth Comment 1148. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. But a little while into our friendship, he expressed interest in me, but at the time, I was in a relationship that started the same year I met him and ended about a year after I graduated high school. I rejected him. We never revisited the idea, and we've been great friends ever since. Over the last several months, I've slowly but surely started developing feelings for him that I hadn't had before. I've always assumed that our relationship would stay platonic, but I see him in a different light now. I had been contemplating for a while now whether or not I should say something for multiple reasons, but mostly out of fear. What if we get together, don't like it, and have trouble getting back into our normal relationship as friends? Or what if our vibe isn't the same when we're in a more serious relationship? What if he's no longer interested after I rejected him years ago? What if she gets rejected?
Ooh, these are all terrible options that are very real.
Ding, ding, ding. You are the loser in every scenario.
No.
We're such good friends that I don't want to lose what we have, and I am afraid that pursuing romance with him would lead to too much room for error. Yesterday, I had a birthday and planned a short trip to a surrounding city over the weekend about 2 hours from my home. I rented one of the nicest gathering homes I've ever seen, invited a handful of friends, old and new, and celebrated. I was slightly unprepared and stressed out most of the time, but for what it was worth, it was a great weekend overall. But handsome Jordan, he's back, was so helpful to me during the whole planning process. We were talking almost every day. He ran errands for me, helped me pay for a few things, took the weekend off to come on the trip with me, was constantly checking in on me, and did literally everything he could to try and eliminate as much of my stress as possible. He was a lifesaver, and I have no idea how I would have done any of that without him. He's the reason I didn't cancel the whole trip due to all of the stress of hosting. At this point, I was leaning more towards telling him how I really feel about him and started working up the courage to do so. Now, during the second day of the trip, my best friend, 24 female, who I've been friends with since middle school, drove up and joined the trip. We'll call her Maya. During the short time she was there, Maya and handsome Jordan got acquainted, started hanging out quite a bit. So I noticed handsome Jordan constantly checking for her and watching out for her. I didn't think too much about it because he's generally just an attentive person, but I did notice it. By the end of the night, after we had all gotten back to the house from being out, Jordan and Maya both hopped up and announced they were going to the diner down the street that was open late. They quickly invited everyone as they were rushing out of the house to go, but we all declined since we had food left over from the night before. Just keeps swinging back and forth.
Ooh.
It was 3 a.m. and it was so abrupt. Maybe an hour or so later, I saw they had returned, but stayed in the car for a really long time before coming back inside.
Oh, dude, they totally smooched. They totally smooched.
That's when I really started to worry that something was brewing between them. I had another friend come back to spend the second night with us, and our sleeping arrangements changed. Handsome Jordan ended up offering Maya his room to stay in since he works the night shift and planned staying up all night to help up tidy the house before we checked out the next morning.
Oh, come on.
He continues to be the perfect person.
I mean, and also they're getting close.
Yeah, I mean, he's giving her the room technically, but he's like...
Well, wait, but he's not staying in that room.
Technically, yes, he's not
Technically,
staying.
he's not staying in that room.
Yes.
Okay, but he's like, oh, I left a sock in there.
Fast forward to when we left and all went back home. Handsome Jordan thanked me for inviting him and let me know how much he had enjoyed all of my friends. Then he specifically mentioned Maya, and I jokingly but seriously hinted at them falling in love. Oh, he's like a joker, like during the trip, and threw in that I picked it up on their connection. He jokingly responded that it was my fault for leaving them unattended. He then explained that he was feeling her but couldn't handle another heartbreak, and that the only reason he didn't exchange information with her was because he had recently cut his hair and wasn't comfortable with it.
Handsome Jordan, come on.
By then, it was clear to me that he was heavily interested, especially since I had already suspected there was something there. I'd be lying if I said the confirmation didn't feel like a to my chest. He wanted her number, and I reached out to Maya to make sure she was okay giving it to him.
Reach out into the depths of your heart and say something.
And of course, she was okay giving him her number.
Oh, dude.
And that was it. Now, I've just been left feeling heartbroken. And it's hard to even put it into words. My feelings are so hurt, not because of anything they didn't know after all, but because I was too late. I guess I could have told Maya how I felt, but I didn't feel the need to. I didn't think she would come for a day and immediately hit it off with my friend out of nowhere. I genuinely thought I had more time to think about how to express my feelings for Handsome Jordan and when, but I guess not.
No time like the present.
Time
my
like
friend.
How crazy would it have looked for me to step in between them the second I realized they had a connection and try to stop it at the last minute? Why didn't you say anything? Or why'd you wait so long? I really don't know, but I guess it just didn't feel right to mention it to Jordan because that's not the way I wanted him to find out about how I felt.
I guess that's true. It's like bad timing, but you know what's worse timing? When they've kissed, when they smooched.
Or no timing at all. Again, it's like back to what's the best time 20 years ago? What's the next best time?
Now.
Today. Right now.
Carpe those DMs. Seize the present.
Carp 'em. I think OP also maybe has like a lot of like anxiety and like other feelings around being able to express these. I'm getting a lot of overthinking.
Yeah.
You know?
But right now, there's no official reason you shouldn't say anything. There's no legal reason.
No.
You're not infringing on an established relationship. You're not making, like, you're complicating your friendship, but that's your own prerogative. You can do that, you know?
Yes.
You're not hurting anyone else's relationship right now.
I think
a budding relationship, it's you know, it's all is fair in the beginnings of love.
As long as, like you laid it out, you're like, I'm just expressing how I feel. I know it might, change things, but I don't want it to. I don't have any asks. I just. And
you know what might happen with Jordan? Jordan might be like, maybe I should be confident with my current haircut. You know, he's having two ladies going after him with short hair. He's like, all right, you know what? This might be working for me.
It's gonna make him run to Maya that much sooner. We have T-7 days right now before it's just like full grown.
The confidence is
gone.
2 through the roof.
Gone.
He's gonna go straight to Maya. But right now, you got him. You got him.
Well, I wanted to be so much more intentional about having that conversation, and right in the midst of him expressing his feelings for another person, just didn't feel like the right time. Maybe I shouldn't have played matchmaker either, but again, I really don't know what I was supposed to do. I haven't talked to Maya or anyone about any of this. This just happened 2 days ago, so it's fresh, and I'm hurting so bad. Handsome Jordan and I have talked about other people we were interested in before, but it's so much different when it's my best friend. I really thought I had more time, but who am I to expect someone to wait on me to be ready to tell them I love them past friendship? Do I say something or just leave it alone? Probably gonna leave it alone since we're already kind of in deep.
You're not deep. They've just asked for each other's numbers.
Which
you helped with.
Yeah. Which again, I like props to her, but then it should have been like, all right, I'm not gonna like mess with this, but let me express my feelings. Because if she did, that would be not.
If she did what?
If she was like, oh, let me just like fumble oops, I forgot to send the number. Ooh, I sent you the wrong,
that would have been whack.
About it.
I think, the best time would be to say it before all of this.
Yes.
Second best time would have been to say it when he's asking if there was a connection. And now the third best time is before they smooch.
Yes.
And the fourth best time is before they say it's official.
Yes.
And the fifth best time is before they say the I do's.
I will say post-smooch does make it a lot harder.
Post-smooch makes it a lot harder. I would say post-smooch you might have lost your chance.
Yeah. You know what? Just date both of them at the same time. Best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds.
Hannah Montana said that and she meant it. They exchanged numbers and are probably talking now anyways. So what's it worth? I know Handsome Jordan can sense there's something up with me, but I just don't know if I have the heart to tell him after literally him helping me be with someone else who is my best friend. I just don't know what to do, and I want to cry. I want to redo the whole weekend, fix this before it even gets the chance to happen. I'm so hurt. What would you do?
I hope everyone was screaming in the comments, say something before it's too late. Don't let love be lost.
Something
say
or nothing.
Something or say nothing.
You gotta say something, especially if you're like torn between yourself.
Yeah. It sounds like OP is really, really caught in the middle.
And again, like, okay, two scenarios. You can not tell him, but it'll probably just drive you crazy, and you'll just have to like constantly kind of be a bit of a different version of yourself around him to avoid that. Or you could tell him, and at least you won't have this like just sitting on your heart, and hopefully try to just just build the friendship and connection from it.
This is basically what you're saying, but it recontextualize it. Either you're going to hurt the relationship from telling him, possibly, or definitely hurt the relationship from keeping this buried beneath and you like being affected by it.
Yes, that is a very good way to put it. We have the big that update. We're not even halfway done with the story, by the way. Thank you guys so much for your comments. The whole situation has been the plot twist of the year, and it's only the first week of March. This is recent, kind of. I had a long chat with my cousin to try and work out my feelings and get some advice in real time. Once I was able to clear my head, I decided to reach out to both Maya and Handsome Jordan the same day I made the original post. I had already made up my mind that I was just going to express my feelings, explain my actions to both of them, and fall back from my friendship with Handsome Jordan. I didn't plan on changing anything about my relationship with Maya because she's my best friend. She was oblivious, did nothing wrong, and I'm a girl's girl after all. Handsome Jordan didn't do anything wrong either. But this was more of a bros before O's kind of thing. If Jordan was going to be her man, I felt like it was only right that I respect that, tell them both the truth, and put some space between Handsome Jordan and me, heal up and move on. So I spoke to Maya first. I told her the whole truth, exactly what I told you guys. I added that I was going to be reaching out to Jordan as well to set up some boundaries in our relationship. But Maya felt absolutely horrible, which made me feel bad too. She explained that she was just trying to have fun, flirting carelessly to pass the time. She did enjoy the conversations they had and didn't mind continuing to talk with him after the trip, but she didn't intend on taking him seriously and just thought that he was really cute. She was going to keep things going, play with him until she got bored.
Jesus.
Ouch.
Okay.
Dude.
Call dibs on this man to protect him from Maya.
Freaking malicious Maya over here. Golly. And then move on to the next thing she normally does with other men. I'm paraphrasing, but these are her words. I promise I'm not being shady.
Save this man from Maya. See, dibs does work.
Maya also mentioned that she thought Jordan seemed like a well-rounded young man, but was way too young for her and couldn't see him giving her what she needed in a long-term relationship. Context, Maya has 4 children under 6 years old and has always dated men who are significantly older than us. Jordan will be 23 soon and isn't really her speed, I guess. We've talked for a while about the details and concluded that this was all a big mishap. Going back to the whole girls girl thing, I wasn't sure what to do with this info because I normally would never want to be with anyone who has dealings with my friends. I left this conversation feeling so sticky.
But they just asked for each other's number. There's nothing there.
Again, I think OP might be going into her overthinking.
Yeah, in her head,
but they were like talking and like going 3. It's cool. There's a way. On the one hand, I didn't know what Jordan's intentions were with Maya and wanted to be a good friend to him. I wanted to let him know what Maya's intentions were to protect him from any potential hurt. On the other hand, I wanted to stay loyal to Maya since I was sure this was info she hadn't planned on sharing with Jordan. Luckily, Maya ended up letting me know that she no longer felt comfortable talking with Jordan now that she knew my true feelings. She was going to ghost him. So now I no longer feel like I'm in such a pickle harboring secrets. Both conversations happened through text, by the way. I then spoke with Jordan. Although I had already gotten a full understanding of where Maya's head was, I still didn't know exactly what had gone on between them, both on and after the trip. I didn't ask either. I stuck to girl code, laid out a very simple explanation for Jordan. I told him I still wanted to be friends, but expressed that I needed some space, that his access to me would be limited, that I didn't want to just disappear on him for a while and not at least let him know why. I unshared my location with him and removed him from Friend Finder and expected that to be the end of it. I was so very wrong. So Jordan works nights and was asleep when I texted him, which I knew. When he woke up and responded, he was devastated. He said he wanted to talk further about the whole situation because he was having a really hard time accepting me wanting to fall back from him. He told me he's had feelings for me for years and they'd never gone away since the first time he expressed them back when we were 15 years old and 16 years old, respectively. Apparently, he had planned to try to shoot his shot again during the trip and couldn't seem to nail the right time. The day Maya got there, she unintentionally slipped some misinformation to him during their parked car convo that made him lose hope. Remember when I said that another friend had come back to the house and sleeping arrangements had changed? That friend, let's call him Mike, 21 male, wasn't supposed to stay with us initially, but ended up sending money and staying at the last minute. The first night, I allowed Mike to sleep in my room. It sounds crazy, but there was plenty of space in there. We were nowhere near each other, and that was it. I was trying to be a good host and make sure my guest had somewhere to sleep. I didn't want to be selfish and keep a room to myself if someone didn't have a comfortable sleeping space, so I shared. I didn't know Mike was coming back, but when he did, I let Maya know, and we texted briefly about sleeping plans. The convo was happening while she was in the car with Jordan. I didn't want her to feel uncomfortable sleeping with a random stranger, so I gave her the option to sleep in the room alone and said that I would keep Mike company for a while in the living room before going to bed. That way his stay wouldn't be pointless. Maya volunteered to sleep on the couch, and then basically blurted out to Jordan that Mike slept in my bed the night before and was coming back to sleep in there again, and that she'd be sleeping on the couch because Mike was sleeping with me again.
She is really going a little far.
Maya, I get a feeling like Maya is the fun friend, but not the together friend. Because of Maya's delivery, lack of knowledge about Mike and I's feelings for Jordan, Jordan felt like Maya was implying that Mike was my man and that I was punting her out of the room to sleep with him. I got none of this info from Maya until Jordan told me when I asked her. I was also informed that Maya was wearing some skimpy PJs and tried to invite Jordan to lay with her in the bed. He declined and slept on the couch himself, sad all night, thinking that he had lost his chance with me. So we talked it out. It got a little heated, but stayed respectful. We were both pouring out very heavy feelings and frustration, so I understood. Jordan told me that he just felt hopeless and wanted someone to talk to, that they weren't talking about anything beyond the surface, and that he didn't want much to do with her either, just someone to keep him company, and she happened to be there. He also said that if he had known how I felt, he would have never chosen my best friend over me, and especially not right in front of my face. He reassured me countless times that he wants me and not anyone else. He said this was all just a big misunderstanding and that if I would give him the chance, he'd show me and make it right. I thought on it for a few hours, my work, and accepted. The next day, Jordan came to my house to bring me lunch and chat in person. When I opened the car door, there were dozens of white roses in the passenger seat with food from one of my favorite restaurants, my exact order.
Jordan! Oh, he knows her so well.
He drove 25 minutes there and back to get my food because we don't have a location super close to us. I felt so warm, happy inside. We sat and talked for 3 hours in the car.
This is amazing. This is amazing.
And this was only supposed to be a drop off.
All right. Again, this is what happened. This was like so poorly executed, but this is what happens when you communicate early and often.
Yes.
You communicate your friends to maybe give you a little space to pursue a romantic interest that you have, AKA dibs, and you have the confidence to execute it well, which was not done in this case, but still good.
One thing I will compliment OP on is she was at least always trying not to, like, I think,
mess anyone up.
Like, sometimes to the detriment of her and the situation.
I think she was too detrimental to herself unnecessarily.
Yes, which is not always the case. So, but
yeah,
shout out to OP for at least being like thoughtful and try not to do that. And
this is great.
It's working. It's working.
This makes me happy.
It's working.
Are you happy?
I'm thrilled.
I'm freaking happy.
Absolutely.
Are you happy, Chad? I'm happy to be with you right now.
At the end of the convo, Jordan came around to help me take things to the door.
Kiss.
We hugged.
No! ...
And this hug was so much different.
It was a long hug.
Than any other time that I've hugged him.
It was a rub the back, everything.
Ooh.
It lasted
long rub the back hug. Oh my.
It lasted a lifetime, and he made me feel so secure, safe. Then he bent down and we kissed. Then he kissed me all over my face and landed the last one.
The forehead kisses.
My heart was in my butt. OMG.
What?
By the way, if you want something big and voluptuous as Keon's junk in the trunk.
Oh, that's big.
That's
and
big.
Show those cakes, Keon.
Go to Spotify, Apple, your favorite pod app, search OK Storytime. We've got over 2,000 episodes for you to listen to. But just before we get into this final bit, how are we feeling? I feel great.
Dude, I feel great. Whoever found this story, shout out them. Oh, what a great story to come back to.
Yeah,
I mean,
right?
I feel great. I feel like I learned something. I feel happy. I'm just happy to be here with you. I'm thrilled. Communicate early and often, but not to the point. And also, like, be wary of ruining relationships, but not to the point of martyrdom.
We don't need all that.
We don't need all that. Have some confidence, OP. Don't be too afraid of rejection that you get in your own way.
So before he left, he told me how much he loved me. My friends and I say I love you all the time. So that was nothing new to us. But this time was different.
Ooh.
And I love him so much more. This disaster was nothing short of amazing, and I've never been happier to have my heart broken temporarily. It was so worth it.
Yes!
I guess I'll have to update you guys in a few years because Jordan is a man of his word. Thanks for reading.
Oh, thank you for giving us that story. That was
wow, beautiful. That was like the perfect
ending.
We went through all
the
whole
emotions
thing, and it looked. I honestly
dire.
didn't think it was going to work out.
You were like, Maya's coming for her.
I thought she was going to swoop in, and then when OP was like, I need space, like back off. I'm like, I don't know if it's going to work out, but
beautiful.
Love won today.
Oh,